I will bless the Most High at all times, and His praises shall continually be in my mouth. What's going on, everybody, and welcome back. I pray y'all are having a beautiful, blessed weekend. We got another Real Talk video here, and my title now says Jezebel and Her Help. Jezebel and Her Help. I know a lot of times we talk about the Jezebel spirit. It's been a while since I've done a video about Jezebel, but for those of you who followed along in the older videos, a lot of times what we don't do is talk about the help that Jezebel had, which was those eunuchs. Jezebel had many eunuchs, y'all, and if you caught the video I did a few years back about eunuchs, then you know what I'm talking about in this video. And off top, let me say this, because this spirit, it's in men and in women. A lot of us are not taught that. These are the things that most churches don't want to talk about, and people trying to figure out why this man acting like this, or why this woman acting like this, why they child acting like this, why they grew up like this. And if we not taught this, you might not even be aware of what's really going on. Jezebel had about 850 false prophets. And when you look at the eunuchs, let's look at this spiritually now. Jezebel also right now wants to spiritually castrate you, strip you of your power. See, part one I talked about when the man is not in the house. And see, part two was going to be about when the woman is not in the house. But what happened to me this morning is that the Most High changed up my message. So I got to be obedient, y'all. So now I'm titling this message, Jezebel and Her Help. I was talking to a woman yesterday who was loving how independent she was and bragging about it and, you know, throwing it up in a lot of people's face, she was telling me. And she was talking about women with weak husbands. And I had to tell her, you know, out of love, that what you talking about is a Jezebel spirit. And the longer she talked, the more I realized she was dealing with the Jezebel spirit. But not to stay off into that, but Jezebel, these eunuchs, they was trained to kill for her. And in this daytime, y'all, we still got the same problem. Now, eunuchs, if you study, let me just break it down. Eunuchs were oftentimes found in the household of kings. And they would work in women's bedchambers. So anytime you work in a woman's bedchamber, you pretty close to them. You with them all the time. You know what they doing, how they doing it. So these eunuchs was permitted to work in female bedchambers. These were men. But these men had been emasculated. Now, we all know from studying that emasculated is when, now I'm going to say this the cleanest way I can, is when you remove a man's penis and his testicles. Now, I don't know about y'all fellas, but if you was to take away my penis and my testicles, I wouldn't really feel too much like a man at all. I'm going somewhere with this video, y'all. Y'all follow me. Follow along with me, I mean, because the Most High, and I'm not trying to sound nasty in this video, but I'm bringing up a point. Because nowadays, you don't have to have your penis or testicles removed to have this spirit. We got men who got this spirit, and they have all of their private parts, we could say. But these eunuchs that Jezebel had would pretty much do anything for her. I told y'all better come on with me. The Lord directed me in this direction, and I'm going to deal with this. Because we done talked about Jezebel, plenty of times. But when you look at her help, this spirit, it's a lot of men fighting with the Jezebel spirit, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. You ever wonder why so many men, my brothers and sisters, I know men, y'all going to be mad at me for this video. Not to the real men, though. But do you know it's so many men right now, they won't stand because they act just like King Ahab. Now, if you studied, who was King Ahab? Jezebel's husband. Weak leader. He wasn't no leader, excuse me for saying that. That man was just terrible. He let Jezebel punk him on everything. He could not put Jezebel in check. And we got a lot of Ahabs walking around here right now as preachers. Who would allow the first lady to do anything? Who would allow women to do anything? Am I saying this in a bad way? No. I'm talking about God's divine order once again. You got some men with no backbone at all that would just say, "You right, go ahead and do everything you do because you paying tithes." Oh yeah, go ahead. Hey, it's in your corner. You do what you want in the church. We got men that shows favoritism with this spirit, and they dealing with this spirit. See, in part one, I talked about when the man is not at home. Now, let me get back to this part here. But what about when there is a man in the home, but he is not a leader? You got a man in the house, but you got a spiritual eunuch in the house right now. He been trained to just say okay to whatever. And here it is, you got children that's watching a weak man. When a child watches a weak man, they grow up messed up. Because he don't know how to do nothing. Adam supposed to have listened to what God told him in the beginning. But when Adam got out of God's divine order and listened at his wife Eve, that's when God had a problem with that. When I look at nowadays, so many men have been killed behind a woman. But what most of them didn't even understand was that they was already dead spiritually. Y'all heard what I'm saying? When you already dead spiritually, what does that say? But these eunuchs that Jezebel had, that mean, y'all just walk with me for a minute. That mean these men couldn't even have sex. Why? What they gonna have sex with? So those men pretty much was on her side once again with everything. I'm trying to keep it clean. But nowadays, you have, and let me say this, if you just happen to be a homosexual looking at this video, I love you. I pray for you. I pray that you change. But I also know some people just ain't gonna never change. But I gotta tie this in with this teaching. Just real talk. You ever wonder why you got so many women, especially in our race, black women, who love to cheer on homosexuality? They clap for it. They love it. That's most of them best friend now. Nowadays, it ain't too much as a woman having another woman as her best friend. Now her best friend is that man. And what they don't understand about, and see, I know some homosexuals that have been, they ex-homosexuals now, and I know they looking and may the Most High bless you and keep on walking the right walk. These men will tell you that they couldn't stand what they was looking at as a woman, in the woman. They wanted to look like the woman. They couldn't be the woman, so they tried their best to kind of pretty much destroy the woman in so many ways. Some of y'all women looking at the video like, wait, what is he talking about? Think about it. If God created you as man, God would never want to see you as a woman. So you go against God trying to do all you can to be something that you can't. So since I can't beat them, I'ma join them. Ain't that an old saying? So most homosexuals that I know that have been delivered now would tell you, I couldn't stand a woman, but I would show her how to dress. How can a man show a woman how to dress better than a woman know how to dress? I'm going somewhere with this video, y'all. So these eunuchs, once again, back then had their private parts taken away. But you got men with private parts, once again, right now, who still ain't no man. Now, what I'm talking about now is the way they act. They love, these women I'm talking about that do this, love to hang around the gay men so much, but they really don't understand that spirit that they dealing with. This is an evil, demonic spirit. And they think it's cool. Even in most churches, they think it's cool. That's why they don't go against it. See, I used to work with a woman about 10 years ago. Her best friend was a gay man. This woman, she loved this man. But it wasn't nothing that she could do to make that man want her. But that man was her best friend. And since that was her best friend, she would always let her son hang around with him, go everywhere with him, talk like him, dress like him. We know that was a big mistake. And she wondered why her son grew up gay. Because first of all, there wasn't no father around. So the only man that she would see was a man who wanted to be a woman. So she allowed that man to take control of her son. You see what I'm saying? Thought it was cool. But she hated the fact of what her son became. We have to quit cheering on this stuff that we need to be going against. That young man growed up that way. Now he's fighting with a demonic spirit that he's having a hard time getting rid of. Because first of all, you can't get rid of a demon without the Holy Ghost. Can't. But let me get you to my other side of this video, because I'm still talking about this Jezebel spirit. I hope we listening, because I ain't gonna let up on us for real in this video. Because you ever wonder why it's so many of us who don't want to stand up? Hey man, it's whatever she say. You know, hey man, she wear the pants. That woman ruined men like that. That woman get men like that with that Jezebel spirit because she can't control that man. I'm talking about some pastors, so I hope y'all listening. I'm talking about our family members. I'm talking about some of us. Your kin folks. Why you with him? Because he do everything I say. He don't never give me no feedback. I can come home when I want. Hey, I'm the breadwinner. I do this, I do that. I got him so I can control him. That's why you got so many older women getting that young man, and then you got these older men old enough to be a woman's sugar daddy, and they getting these young women. This spirit is so strong that a lot of people don't understand what they're dealing with. But see, when a strong man stands up and talk real, and he put his foot down, those type of Jezebel spirit women do not like that kind of man. You ever wonder why so many women got a weak man, but when a real man come along, they can't handle it? Why? Because they've been used to that weak man. They've been used to being the boss, and it's what they say go. But when that real man of God puts his foot down, steps in on the scene, that woman can't handle that man. Yeah, y'all go ahead and get mad at me for saying that. The truth hurt. It's crazy now, because y'all, I'll be looking at, I was flipping through the TV the other day, and I was looking at all these shows out now. These reality shows, this hip hop of Atlanta, all this stuff. You see all this stuff. But every one of these shows that you see, once again, you see a gay man dressing the woman, picking out her clothes. Like that woman don't know how she want to dress. See how twisted this is. Now, once again, I said this earlier in the video, but now that man, how does this man know more about being a woman than you do? He's showing you which heels to put on. Now, girl, that don't look right on you. What's wrong with that? You can show this woman how to look. And these type of women don't see nothing wrong with that, because it's all about money. All these men out here who want to look and be like a woman. It's a sick spirit. But see, once again, it's Jezebel spirit. It's in men and in women. What is this Jezebel spirit? Just to break it down in the easiest form, it's a spirit that dominates, period. It dominates men. It dominates. And that's why it never left. Just like when people say, well, I thought God killed all the giants in the flood. You can't kill spirit with water. So to think that the Jezebel spirit or witchcraft has ever left, you better think again. It never has left. And some of y'all are probably dealing with it and don't know it. See, fellas, if we was to be real when we started out dating and everything, and I'm guilty, just as charged. I was right along with this spirit at first, but didn't know what it was because I wasn't taught this. Because of that woman, her body, what she can do to you, what you fall in love with or lust with, we could say. And if she cut off that sex, oh, well, hey, man, she tripping. I got to do this for... Man, I was heavy in that Jezebel spirit. I had to go check the hell out of myself and look in that mirror and say, boy, you better remember who you are. Sometimes we think we stronger than what we are, but we don't really know that we can fall just like the snap of a finger. How many of us done fail, fellas? Say amen, because you didn't always start out doing everything right. And it took me a while to get past that. And that's why, thank you, Most High, to this day, because of the Most High, I am the man that I am to this day. That's why most women, they don't feel right when I talk to them. Well, why you coming at me like that? No, I'm not gonna be like that last man. If you can't handle me, you can't handle me. I don't need to be with you. And we need to be like that, fellas. To say, nope, that's not how it's gonna be. This the way it's going to be. I'm following God. If you ain't going to follow Christ, you're not going to follow along with me as I follow Christ. Peace. Ain't no need to me wasting your time and you wasting my time. But see, we done been so dominated now. You know, from talking with a lot of women and men. Brother K-Ray, you know what I'm talking about. When we do a lot of ministering and we can say counseling. In most relationships, you know what the majority of the problem is? I know most people going to say finances. I understand that. But communication, it's not there. People talk at each other, but not to each other. And the problem with most men is that we will not communicate because a lot of times we wasn't taught how to really communicate. We have been dogged out by our parents, dogged out by some woman, been dogged out so long that you just accept it, don't you? And you always have your girl ask you, why you don't never, just talk to me. Women still try to figure out why is it they can let their emotions out and cry and holler at you and cuss you out, and sometimes the man can just sit there and just, she finished yet? He looks at you. He looks at you and it make you even madder because he's not cussing and fussing at you back. I'm talking about a real man now. I ain't talking about these ignorant folk that these men that like to slap you all upside your head and cuss you out and kick you down the stairs. I'm talking about a real man that done got wise and is in the spirit. After a while, that stuff don't work with him. He just, you ain't gonna say nothing? Nah, baby, you finished. Because I let it go a long time ago. I forgave and I was wrong. I'm sorry, but you won't let it go. But my point is, this Jezebel spirit has been in men so long also that man don't know how to respond back. That man been taught how to just accept. Ladies, I'm letting you in on something about a lot of us. I ain't talking about all of us, but a lot of us have just been, hey, I done heard it so much. I'm tired. I don't feel like, I'm all right. You can keep on fussing. And that makes too many women mad. See, why am I saying this? Because you can't make that man do something that he ain't been used to doing. He been pretty much trained not to talk. If you just really just look at it, because of the abuse. See, Jezebel, her eunuchs, they made sure they kept her happy. Some of us, we don't even want to talk about spirits like this. But you need to know once again what's going on. You need to know right now. That's why I had to take it to these TV shows, because I get a lot of questions about what you think about the R&B divas, what you think about this. And I tell people, it make them mad, but I say, when you study witchcraft, when you study demonic spirits, when you study on devils, when you really study and break down what a diva really is, and you start looking at goddesses, you ain't going to ask me that question no more. Because none of those divas really get along with each other. If you catch what I'm saying, every 2 minutes, one of them is cussing each other out. Their lifestyle is a complete wreck, and they ain't never happy. They wasn't been married I don't know how many times, or can't keep a man. This is I'm gonna say this. This is how some female pastors are. I'm not saying everybody. That's why I'm just talking about from what I've seen in my life. That's why most churches with a Jezebel spirit, I see a lot of churches, it's just mostly women and no man in there. And what they teach on, I hear a lot of confusion with the teaching. And that's why once I go there, and something like just say if somebody invite me to the church, and once I go to that church and see what's going on, and I discern it, you ain't got to worry about me going back in that church. So I done been to plenty churches where It was just the woman pastor and the number of women in the church. And soon as a man of God say something boldly or present something, it's a problem. And you wonder why it's majority of the female pastors are never married. That's for a reason. And y'all already know what it is. Am I talking bad against this? No, I'm just talking about what's real, y'all. A lot of people can't handle these real talk videos. That's why I say now, when you tie in the shows that you see on TV and look at the churches that do this, that spirit has never left. I was flipping and looking at one other day. I say it's always a gay man working for the woman, and he always trying to make sure she got everything she need. And that woman confesses to that man, that gay man. She put everything into him. She giving the gay man everything except sex. I'll say it like that. Giving him, pouring her heart out to somebody that should be pouring her heart out to her husband. That's why the gay man knows so much about the woman. That's why the gay man knows the struggle. That's why now the females that's like this now get along better with men than women. I'm not talking about all women like this though, because there's some women that can actually get along with other women. And I'm not saying to say that all women are more closer with a man. I'm saying that to make a point that some women like this, they pour their heart out to that gay man. Now, I'm going to close this video because if you caught what I was really saying in this video, male or female, the Jezebel spirit is here, it's been here, and it's real. So what I'm really saying and talking about is that a person that has no spiritual strength of their own, they control pretty much by the Jezebel spirit. Why? Because they can't think for themselves. They don't have no thinking process. They control. And once you get you can get off into a person's mind, you already got their actions. You already got their actions. So with that being said, y'all have a wonderful, blessed day. May the Most High continue to watch over you and keep you in perfect peace. Let us learn from yesterday, live for the day as we hope and pray for tomorrow. The Jezebel spirit in men and in women. Are you a spiritual eunuch or not, fellas? Are you a spiritual eunuch or not? Peace.